Hey, we did it. We made it. We made it to this moment. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. This moment in music. Please just ignore the mess. So, my guest today is Julie Schatz. I've really been loving her stuff on TikTok for a while now, and she's got a cool YouTube channel that I've got a lot to learn from. And she's a musician from New York City. And she's here with me today. I spent last night writing a line to one of her beats. She's a beat maker. And I'm looking forward to playing that for you today. Everybody, another beautiful day in Ohio. Welcome. Have a good day. See you in just a minute. This moment in music. Bye-bye. Hey. Oh, hello. Well, one thing about live television or live YouTube is every once in a while things happen. And unfortunately, I set the wrong time, so I'm hoping that you guys will find this over here. I've got a real special guest here all the way from New York City, and it's going to be a great show anyway. Okay, here we go. So, I want to tell you a little story. I spent last night writing just a little lyric to a beat that Julie Schatz made, and I'm going to play her song for her beat first, and just so you can hear it. It's this really cool. Right when I heard it, I was like, well, that is cool. I want to do something with that. So here it is, Julie, the beat. Here it is. Isn't that sweet? I love that. So then I brought that down off of TikTok and put it into Ableton Live, and I put on my microphone and I started singing along, and at first I sounded really like an old man trying to make something cool, and I was feeling sort of like, oh, I'm not quite cool enough for this beat. But then I started relaxing. I put a little reverb on. Reverb changes everything. I put a little reverb on, and I started just singing some random words. And these random words came out, and I'm quite pleased with it, and I'd like to play it for you now. I just posted it all over. I put it on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and this is my little beat. It's called Don't Go, Eliza. Don't go, Eliza, please, don't go. Don't go. I don't know who Eliza is, and there's no one in particular that I'm not wanting to go right now, but I like this line, and I hope you enjoy. Let's see, Eliza it's called. Wait, Eliza, I need you to stay. Don't go, 'cause I need you to stay. Would you be my babe? Would you be my babe? Wait, Eliza, I need you to stay. Don't go, 'cause I need you to stay. Would you be my babe? Wait, Eliza, I need you to stay. Don't go, 'cause I need you to stay. Would you be my babe? Would you be my babe? wait, Eliza, I need you to stay. Don't go, 'cause I need you to stay. Would you be my babe? I love that. It's so smooth, it's so mellow. That was really quite a treat. And then I finally got to bed at about midnight and woke up this morning and have had a full morning of getting ready for this show. And then the huge disappointment that I put the wrong time on. But, you know, here we are in this moment, the best moment we could hope for. So there's one more thing I want to share with you before I bring Julie out. And it's a song that I've been working on. And there's actually one line of the song that I still need help on. And I was hoping you guys might help. It's about the garden. It's about this time of year, which is the harvest. And I've been going to the farmer's market in Kent every Saturday. And all these farmers are there bringing this amazing food. It's not like the kind of food you get at the grocery store. It's actual like bright red tomatoes, big bushels of chard and green beans. And my favorite vendor is this woman from Thailand who brings all these exotic vegetables that I just really love. And so this song is called The Roots of the Harvest. And there's one line that I still need work on. It goes like this. Here's the song. In the morning, let's see. In the morning when the carrots wake and the dewdrops shine in the light of my garden, the parsley pokes are peeking into the day while the Brussels sprouts sway and the watermelon sings. Oh, my garden is a peaceful place to be, with harmony alive inside each seed, like in the pages of my poetry, where I'm blooming too. In the afternoon, the red peppers and the radishes are growing with the garlic and onions. The green beans sway with the dinosaur kale while the zinnias spin and the sky is full and sunny. Oh, my garden is a hopeful place to be, with harmony alive inside each seed, like in the pages of my poetry, where I'm blooming too. On Saturday we go to the market, we're carrying the roots of the harvest. The bounty of living gets passed along in the flowers and food, something like that. We're dining on the fruits of the garden, we're thriving from the work of the farming. So that's the line I need help with. In the shadow of the night, the broccoli bolts in the bed with the sleepy cilantro. The eggplants light up the moon with the squash, and the artichoke hearts tell us all that they know. And oh, my garden is a sacred place to be, with harmony alive inside each seed, like in the pages of my poetry, where I'm blooming too. There's the song. And it needs one line, and I'm going to take about 1 minute to see if we can come up with it. It goes, on Saturdays we go to the market, we're carrying the roots and the harvest. The bounty of the living, the bounty of the living, the bounty of life is passed along in the flowers and food. That line needs some work. We're dining on the fruits of the garden, we're thriving from the work of the farming. Well, I think I'm just going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave that as your homework homework assignment. Go and work on that this weekend and bring it back to me next Wednesday, and I'll work on it too. And hopefully on Wednesday it'll be done and I'll be able to share it with you. So now I'd like to bring out our special guest for the day, Julie Schatz. I'm going to play a little something from something that I really, just a couple of her things on TikTok that I've enjoyed. So here is Julie Schatz producing music and singing and doing her thing. Hey, Julie.
Hey, Hal. How are you?
Oh, good. You're not muted. I'm all right. I really enjoy that. Both those things you did. When you're singing that song, were you harmonizing? Was that a multi-track thing?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds great.
Yeah, that song, well, like you hear all these pop songs that the lyrics are kind of sad or emotional, but they're up tempo, and I'm like, hey, let's slow it down and get to the lyrics. And so that one was fun I kind of like made it sound a little country too with the oohs and stuff. So
that's nice.
So it was fun. Yeah.
Oh, here, I just got a message. I'm trying to watch your live stream and I posted it for the wrong time, and you I'm really sorry about that darn mistake. You ever make mistakes?
All the time.
Dang, I hate it when that happens. Well, the other thing that I was really what was that? Oh, there.
By the way, I have to say I love your song. You started to make me hungry. All those.
Do they have farmers markets there in New York City?
Yeah, actually, there's one. There's an area called Union Square that's a big like park, and it's kind of a center of downtown. And in the summertime, they have a huge market where they have like local farmers from upstate New York come and sell produce and honey and wine and all kinds of good stuff. So
nice.
Not nearly as compared to when you're in the country, but they kind of bring the country to the city for us, so that's nice.
And then there's that video of you with the chickens that brings me back to the
It's so funny you played that. It was like Thanksgiving. My parents live upstate, and I was with my family, and there's turkeys like everywhere, wild turkeys. So I just saw these turkeys. I was like, oh, I want to sample a turkey gobble. It's Thanksgiving, so let's let's do something relevant to the holiday. So it was just, experimenting.
Awesome. Hey, Julie, could we, before we talk about your creative process or anything, could we hear a little bit of music? Would you be willing to go back to that keyboard and see what happens? Yep. I'd love to hear whatever you got going over there.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple of things going. The live looping that I do is with Ableton, and I've been doing a lot of like beat recreations. But yeah, I'm also just a piano player singer. Let me shift my light here. So, I don't know. What should I play?
Well, I don't know. Did you have a beat? Did you have something that you planned or something you recorded? Anything?
Yeah. Well, what I'd love to do is, what I'd love to do is show how I'm doing this live looping, which is so fun.
Yeah.
So,
I'd love
to. Get requests. I started off. Say again.
I'd love to hear that. That's great.
Yeah, I started off with just it was Tupac's birthday, and you know the that Hornsby sample. So I said, oh, let me like recreate the beat. So I set up Ableton for live looping and did that, and people loved it. So and then they started requesting other songs. So now I've been doing these live looping sessions, like basically recreating beats of old school hip hop songs. So the one I did last night is called MCs Act Like They Don't Know. So this is what it sounds like. So that's when it's put together, and basically I'm doing the pieces of the beat live. So if I delete this now, so I start off with the piano, and I have basically this is my tool to trigger the recording. So basically I just hit record. Okay, start it off this way. Well, actually, this one, let me start that again. This one, actually, I started off with the drums first. So just a little tidbit of how I do this. I start off, instead of using a click track, I use like a hi-hat, a steady hi-hat, something like that to keep time. And then I'll either put the rhythm on first or the piano. So this one I actually put the rhythm on first. So this is basically how I do it. And then the piano.
Yeah.
So
keep that going. That was great. What key is that in?
E flat minor.
E flat minor. That's a rough one for me, but here I'll.
Yeah.
Do you have?
So I try to stay true to the original. The original is in that key. So, but yeah, I can play it a little bit more.
Can you add some violin on top of that, or is E flat minor?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I did in the video. So I'll just play that.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I wish I knew the E flat minor scale better. I would jam with you. E flat minor doesn't.
Yeah, on the harmonica, that's not the best. It's got to be like C. C is
well,
like,
I can do a lot of keys, but I just E flat minor just is not really ringing for me. Wait, that's it. Let's take turns where you do a little bit on the violin, and then I'll take a turn. All right?
Okay, good.
We'll have a
trade off.
All right, one last big one, Julie. Go for it.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
one
going to say,
last
go
one?
one more. We'll do the big ending. The big ending we'll both play.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Ready? Yeah. Nice. That was great. I
That's
love
fun.
that.
Yeah.
That would be even funner in person,
I
where
know,
we could
right?
actually.
I love the harmonica. That sounded great. Loved it.
Yeah, I love
So
this. The harmonica and the violin go nicely together. Like if we had some lines worked out where we were harmonizing with each other, they
yeah,
really do well together.
absolutely. I love it. That's awesome. I'm gonna just conserve my battery here. Okay.
S-
Yeah.
So here's a
That was,
question for you: how does one uh, how with a busy life living in New York City with all the subways and all the day jobs and everything, how does one find time to be creative? Or how
yeah,
to
it's a good
make things? Like you're making things. My sense is you're making things like every day. You're putting stuff on TikTok and
yeah.
YouTube. Uh, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a lot of times it's just it's sort of pushing yourself to say, it's easy to lose track of time. There's so many things to do and life gets in the way. But I make it a point, like every day, to, even if I don't have a lot of time to spend creating, I find one moment in the day to just sit down, even if it's a half hour, and make something or work on something. And like, if I don't do that, my day is thrown off,
Mm-hmm.
because it just, when you're, you understand this, when you're a musician, it's like it's your lifeline,
I know.
you got you got to be creative. It's like your outlet, it's your meditation, all that. So yeah, it's like I try to keep a schedule sometimes of saying, okay, I have XYZ to do, but at this time I'm going to take a break, and I'm just going to be creative, or I'm going to. And the other great thing about TikTok is sometimes it's hard to think of, uh, like, what do I want to post today? Like content creation,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you go through this,
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, I got to be consistent, but I don't know what to post. So when I get these requests, like for the beat remakes, it's so fun because it's that interaction and people get so excited. They're like, oh, I want to hear this done. And so yeah, it's sort of, you make it happen, because it's like, you know you'd go crazy if you didn't, kind of thing.
And having an audience, the fact that we can have an instant audience on TikTok is incredible. Like
I know.
I can create that, make that little line, that song last night, and put it out there, and suddenly, all these people watch it, and it's just
Yeah,
such an amazing. The
exactly.
technology is incredible.
Exactly.
So do you
Yeah, I
have
love
a?
that. So fun to hear. Thank you for
You're
doing that.
welcome. What was the line again? I need don't go. Yeah, don't go, Eliza. That was it. That's my. And the big challenge for me is actually to turn that into something else. Like it's a great one line, but the big
Yeah,
challenge is actually make it into a song. And I'm really
right.
good at 15-second great ideas that last 15 seconds, but I really struggle with the actual putting the whole thing together.
It's hard.
But I love that beat.
Absolutely.
Like, how did you create that? How did that get started? I really love that beat. It's so mellow and so
Thank you.
satisfying. How did that start?
Thank you. It's interesting because the beat making process, there's a whole industry with beats, right? Where producers make these type beats, is what they call it. So, and that means it's basically geared toward a certain kind of artist. So in that case, I was actually, it started out as making a Juice World type beat, who's the late, the late rapper, that everyone, I mean, he has so many fans and some great music, and I wanted to make something in that vein. And but then, I don't know, sometimes inspiration just takes you elsewhere. I ended up adding, when I added the piano, it kind of like took it in a different direction. But but that's okay too. It's art, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of where it stemmed from. So it's fun because the beat has these like trap music elements with the drums, but
Yeah.
then the piano is like a total contrast to that. So so it creates this interesting vibe, I
Well,
would
you
say.
say trap music, and I have no idea what you're talking about. I know there are all these different styles, but do you like when you hear something, do you think, oh, that's trap music?
Yeah, I mean, with hip hop now, trap music, it basically started in the South as sort of more of an underground music movement, and now it's become mainstream.
What
So
is
you
what
have like
defines trap
artists.
music? Is it a particular tempo or?
Yeah, it's basically, I think one of the defining features of trap music is the 808. These 808 is basically a bass, a form of bass that
Uh huh.
Roland created, this drum machine back in the day that was like the first 808 sound, and it's sort of like a bass and a kick in one, and it's just sort of has this booming sort of effect, and it's a unique sound. So with trap music, it's got a lot of that, and it's got the drums are like very punchy, and the hi hats are doing like 30-second notes,
Uh huh.
little trills and things like that. So it has these elements, like it's like taking a tempo, like a 70 beats per minute tempo, but it kind of sounds like 140 because the hi hats are going crazy, so it just has like a unique, trap music kind of has this unique sound. So, and it's very popular now. So when I make beats, I try to make some that are geared toward what's popular, but sometimes it's just fun to just go crazy with it and take
Uh
it
huh.
into another direction, which is kind of what I did with that beat. So
Let me play the beat one more time just so we can hear what trap music is.
yeah.
There's so many different directions you can go with that. I love it. But I
Yeah,
hear
I
that
mean,
that
so with
snare
that,
going, or the hi hat is at the.
yeah, so the hi-hat there is just doing eighth notes, right?
Uh
So
huh.
it's not like with that particular beat, it has some trap elements in it, but then I ended up turning it more into a ballad. But if
Mm-hmm.
especially with headphones, you can hear the 808 comes
Yeah, I
in,
know. I could hear the bass.
you know.
Nice. Yeah, that was a big
Yeah,
bass. That's live. It's really sweet.
and then the snare is just kind of punchy, and so it has those kind of elements to it, which is fun. It's fun to play with that. Yeah.
Well, Julie, we are officially out of time. I hope someday that we get to jam out together in a room somewhere. That would be really fun, or on a stage maybe.
Absolutely.
Back,
Yeah.
will there be stages again someday?
I know. Hopefully, somehow
Hopefully,
we'll
somehow.
find something normal. Yeah.
My daughter was planning on
Well,
moving to.
I think you so much.
You're welcome. My daughter, her big plan was to move to New York City in May, and she was a musical theater major, and she was going to move to
Oh,
New
nice.
York and start auditioning for Broadway, and then everything shut down, and it's just been a huge disappointment.
I know.
I
She'll
bet there
come
are a
back
lot of
some.
disappointed people in New York City, huh?
It's not easy. Yeah. But we're making do as best
We're
we can.
making do. We're putting our TikToks and our YouTubes up there. Everyone go. Oh, Julie,
Yeah,
you've got a single coming out like in October or something that we can look forward to.
I do. Yes. The date right now is October 9th, so
All
it's
right.
going to be my debut of my original music.
That's
So
great. I'm really excited. I'll check it out. All right, Julie, I'm going to say bye
Thank
to you,
you.
and I'm going to welcome my guest for next Wednesday is Rupert Waits, songwriter from Colorado. Listen to Rupert, and Julie, thanks again.
I'll just do a couple of minutes, shall I? This is called I'm Amazed. I don't need the mountains, I don't need the trees, I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. I don't need the treasures buried out at sea. I don't need the mighty temples of antiquity. Well, I travel far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred. Nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. That'll leave for the moment.
Oh, Rupert, I didn't want it to end. It was so good. I love it. All right, everybody. Well, I'm disappointed about my big mistake. I'm going to go back and check all the times of all the streams that I've created. That's the thing. There are so many different steps to this process, and every once in a while I make a flub. So, well, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And be sure to subscribe and like and spread the word. I'll see you next Wednesday. And as usual, we end with this song. And usually everyone sings along because they hear this song every week. It goes, you've got a light inside you. Go on your way in peace. So shine that light, the light inside you. Go on your way in peace. The world is waiting in the hope of another day. She will carry you safely through the stumbles and the falls on your way. Just remember that I'm loving you and you're loving me. So as you go, won't you go on your way now in peace? Yes, as you go, won't you go on your way now in peace? Everyone have a wonderful weekend and a beautiful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.